Guys, welcome back to the channel. Is this the market bottom for Turbo? Is this a massive buying opportunity? That's what we're going to discuss in this video, so make sure you watch it until the very end. Now, if you're watching this right now and you're a Turbo coin holder, you're probably panicking because not only are you seeing Turbo coin sell off, right? Currently down 10.45% for the day, but you're seeing memecoin sell off, you're seeing altcoin sell off, you're seeing the stock market sell off, and you're wondering, is it time for you to completely leave the market? Or on the opposite end, you're saying, this doesn't bother me. I just want to know if this represents a buying opportunity. Now, to begin with, I would say this. If you've been holding Turbo Coin for quite some time and you're worried that this project is going to die and fizzle out, I personally wouldn't be on the same team as those people that believe that is the case. I understand why they're concerned because Turbo Coin has fallen in terms of its overall market cap ranking, so it's now closer to the 30th rank than the top 20, which it was in before. So it's fallen quite a bit with a market cap value of 105 million. Now, as I said before, you either see this as a reason to completely stay away from the project or for a reason to double down. And from our next price target that we had for Turbo Coin, which is at 0.00199901. We mapped this out before the aggressive selling pressure started, right? But now that price has fallen lower, instead of making a 5x to this next price target, you're now looking at over 11x, over 1,100% to this next price target, which is absolutely phenomenal, especially for those that were looking for entry closer to the entry points that a lot of people entered in April last year. Now, this opportunity has been democratized because everybody now has an opportunity to buy at these lows. But the question is it worth it? Are we going to see the market move lower? Now, here's the truth. If the stock market continues to sell off, Bitcoin continues to sell off, altcoins continues to sell off, then Turbo Coin is of course going to sell off. Now, with that being said, how low could we go from this area? Now, if Bitcoin makes its way towards 60,000, I think we're going to see at least another 30, potentially even a 40% sell-off on Turbo Coin, which means the lowest area we could see Turbo Coin in the short term is at 0.0000901 as a 41% downside move from where we currently are now, and that will take us to our basically our lows in May, right? Essentially, that's where we could see price go, and instead of 11x from this area, that would be a, wait for it, 20x, over a 20x if you decide to wait for price to move to this downside. But remember, there's no guarantee that we're going to actually see a move to the downside. So the question is this the bottom? Now, if I have to be honest with all of you, I'm paying attention mainly to the macro because that's ultimately going to tell us where the direction of the market is going. Now, if we see the overall market recover, stock market recovers, Bitcoin makes its way above 80,000, then we should see quite a sharp move on Turbo Coin, which means you're looking at around 20 to 30% short-term move at this area. So the way I would look at it right now, if I was planning to buy, is 40% risk, let's just say 50, let's say 40 to 50% downside risk, but potential short-term move around, let's just say back up to this range would be about, let's just see, make sure it's accurate, about 100% or 100% back up to this broken area of support, which is now a resistance area, right? So 100% to this area, downside move about 40-50%. Now, just from that short-term move, that is a great risk to reward opportunity. If you're planning to just hold it to the next major target at 0.020242, then that's an even better risk to reward opportunity, because you're looking at a 40-50% downside move. And again, for context, let me just show you what that looks like in terms of real numbers. So let's say you were planning to buy, or let's say I'm planning to buy with, let's just say, $1,000. If the market falls lower, I'm going to lose $500. But if the market hits this target, I'm going to be up $2,000. But better than that, if this area is hit, then I make over $12,000. So if I'm planning to hold till this target, I'm basically risking $500 to make $12,000. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that sounds like a great risk to reward opportunity, especially with a meme coin that I don't think it's going to disappear anytime soon. I think even if it doesn't perform very well, we're still looking at a 1 to 3x on turbocoin. So let's just say, for the people in the comment section that are going to say this is a dead project, it's not going to bounce back. As you've seen, it's moving down the meme coin food chain. Okay, let's say you guys are right. Well, you're still looking at 500% downside for about $3,000 upside. The risk reward is still good when you look at it from that context. Now, this is the thing. Anything can happen in the market at this area, which is why when you're seeing online people just telling you, okay, we're going to see price go to zero from here. I mean, what's the basis for that claim? Just like the people that tell you we're going to hit, $1 turbo from this area. Again, there has to be basis for these kind of claims, which is why we've actually mapped in a very safe target, upside target of 0.019756, which means we don't run the risk of seeing price hit this area and then going down to zero, which could happen, right? And in fact, if we want even a target that's a bit more conservative, we can just buy price up to all-time highs. And again, that's still a 10x, essentially, a 9x back to our all-time highs. And then we can exit at this area. So turbocoin as a whole, whether you like the project, whether you don't like the project, is actually still a very, very good short-term opportunity to make a ton of cash. Now, you will notice I'm not talking about $1 prices. I'm not talking about $5 prices. I'm not talking about $10 prices in this video, because really it doesn't matter and it's not going to help you. Once we go above these highs, our all-time high for the year, once we go above, all-time high for last year, and once we hit this target, then we could talk about, $1. Then we could talk about, all those prices. But for now, we need to at least get back above this resistance area, which is 100% from where we currently are now, and then make our way back to all-time highs. But just to conclude this video, is this the market bottom? The truth is, nobody knows, but what we do know and what we do understand is the risk versus reward. 50%, let's even bring it down to 60%. Let's just say we could see a 60% downside move from this area. Again, $600 loss for a potential $12,000 or $9,000 gain. Still a great risk to reward. Now, I'll say this to all of you that have been waiting on my turbo videos and you've made it this far in the channel, in the video, sorry. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, because I will be posting turbo updates daily, right? So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another update. Also, make sure you join my free Telegram group using the link in my description. Very important that you do that, because you're going to stay on top of the overall market, the macro market, and you also get insider information before everybody else. How do you do that? Download the Telegram app, click the link in my description, and then you'll get access to the group. And I also have a video in there that shows you how to make 100,000 in 1 month and 16 days. That's pinned to the Telegram channel. And last but not least, make sure, guys, you understand nothing that you see in this video is financial advice. Always make sure to do your own independent research. And until the next update, seize the day.